And people are gonna sit here and have their opinions on this, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. There was some technical difficulties, so if we lost you in the last 5 minutes, I apologize. Don't know what's going on here in the compound, but we seem to have lost control for about 5 minutes. I don't know if it's the government, but yeah, the Jimmy Kimmel show suspended indefinitely by Nexstar Media and ABC Disney. The whole nine yards, suspending him indefinitely for the comments that he made on his show on Monday, and we'll talk about that. And I'm actually going to play it right now. I have it for you. And there are a lot of people, and you are free to discuss it on YouTube. We're on the YouTube right now, Soriano Network. Subscribe. We're up to 12,700 subscribers on the Soriano Network on YouTube. So hit that subscribe button. Go on YouTube, Soriano Network, subscribe, and you'll have some good stuff there. It's just me trying to be entertaining. But this is what Jimmy Kimmel said on Monday. Uh, and again, feel free. We're on YouTube and we're on Facebook Live. So you feel free to put your comments in the comment section on Facebook Live or YouTube. This is what Kimmel said on Monday on his show.
And with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and
Which is a lie. And I think that's the one that's going to be the factor here. But let's continue.
this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and doing everything
Lie,
they can
fanning the
to score
flames,
political points from
hate
it. In
speech.
between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the life of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks. They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House,
Moron.
which is something they've been trying to get, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. Demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish, okay? It didn't just happen.
Well, I was in the midst of, building a great, for 150 years, they've wanted a ballroom at the White House, right? They don't have a ballroom. They have to use tents on the lawn for President Xi when he comes over. If it rains, it's a wipeout.
Almighty.
And so I was with the architects that would design. It's going to be incredible. And they came in, they said, Charlie Kirk is dead. I didn't know what they meant. I said, he was dead. Charlie Kirk was shot. And they thought he was dead because it was so horrific, And I said, dead.
And then we installed the most beautiful chandelier. It's extraordinary. There's something wrong with them. There really is. I mean, who thinks like that? And why are we building a $200 million ballroom in the White? Is it
So I gotta sit here. There is a lot to go over here. All right, we have so much in my alcohol stained fingers, pizza stained fingers, whatever you want to say here. We have so much to get to. Um, but I gotta say, listen, I thought now, I thought the bit about Trump himself was funny because I mean, guy. You, you gotta give us. Nobody cares about the $1 million ballroom that you're building. Charlie Kirk was just murdered. Why are we talking about the ballroom? And he brought it up again. So it just again, Trump goes on his rants and his tangents and everything, and to me, listen, you can't help but laugh. Okay, and that's the thing. I've been poking fun at him since he went up the escalator. Okay? Now, that doesn't mean that I hate the guy. Doesn't mean that I agree with everything he says or disagree with everything he says. But I mean, there's sometimes, I mean, guy, you just, what are you doing? You're lost. But this is the one that I think got Jimmy in trouble, and with good reason. Listen to it again.
Over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between,
Right there, right there. That's it. That's the comment. That right there is the comment that got him fired. And don't sit here and tell me that that's free speech. Don't sit there and tell me that lying, openly lying about the identity of someone that murdered somebody days ago because it doesn't fit your political agenda. So you're sitting there openly lying on a show that's watched by millions of people. It's syndicated on hundreds of ABC stations. That's not, and I've seen so many people, and I just had to I had to take some off. If I haven't taken them off already, either they'll take me off or I'll take them off because I've just seen so many people in the last 2 hours. Well, I don't understand free speech. This is the end of our times. That little wussy Lawrence Hayes or Chris Hayes, whatever he is on PMSNBC or MSDNC. I don't know what it's called now. Um, but he said something about, oh, it's chilling, it's scary. Trump's coming after all of us. Trump's threatening the FCC. This is the thing. And someone just commented on something. I love when they bitch about cancel culture, I guess meaning Republicans, and then they are celebrating over this. Let me explain this to you slowly. You're out there watching, listening, whatever platform that you're listening or watching this right now. Cancel culture is you're being canceled over something that got dug up years ago. Isn't that how cancel culture started? People sit here and they dig up, people are running for president or running for Congress and stuff gets pulled up from their president from their high school yearbook or an old tweet resurfaced or an old picture or a scandal or this and that. I thought that was what cancel culture was. Maybe I'm missing it. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I'm the stupid one. Maybe I don't understand what cancel culture is. But to me, that was cancel culture, and that always has been cancel culture. They're canceling Disney shows and Disney movies because of a 7 second, part of the movie that can be offensive to somebody. Gone with the Wind, that was canceled. It's stuff that Columbus was canceled. But when you say something as stupid and asinine as Jimmy Kimmel said, oh, what did he say that was stupid?
at least it's somebody we can trust, though, right? We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between,
When you say something like that, when you openly lie to millions of people watching you, when you sit there and lie about the identity of a person that shot somebody dead, and you're sitting there and you're accusing one political party, they did it. It's them. One of them shot him. Well, that's wrong. That's what we call fanning the flames, enticing a riot. They like to bring up January 6th a lot. What do you call what Jimmy Kimmel did Monday? Now, like I said, I thought that his bit on Trump was funny. I mean, Trump set himself up for that. If you're not sitting there making fun of that or poking some fun, I'm sorry. I think even Charlie would appreciate the joke. But to sit there and to set up the joke, you had to lie, and a bad lie too. Because by you saying that, by Jimmy Kimmel saying that, oh, it was a MAGA person that shot Charlie Kirk. Who's to say that MAGA that people now that wear MAGA hats aren't going to be taken out? Because Jimmy Kimmel's just sat there live, millions of people saying that, well, it was a MAGA person that shot Charlie Kirk. So what Jimmy Kimmel's doing is he is fanning the flames. He is causing political hate. He is causing political divide. And what he said was dumb. What he said was stupid. And he suffered the consequence. Now, people have said, well, Charlie Kirk suffered the consequences. Charlie Kirk said what he said, and he suffered the consequences. No. Charlie Kirk, a father and a husband, spoke his mind and had a freaking opinion and was shot dead because he had an opinion. People that did not agree with him. That's what happened to Charlie Kirk. He wasn't canceled. He was shot. He was killed. There's no going back. Jimmy Kimmel said something stupid, said a lie, and in my opinion, could be considered as hate speech against anyone that voted for Donald Trump. Because what he said in that monologue is saying something that is not true. And when you sit there and you lie to millions of people, outright lie and cause divide, I'm sorry, you should be held accountable. So Jimmy Kimmel wasn't canceled. Jimmy Kimmel wasn't a victim of cancel culture. He said something dumb. And he had the consequence culture. He suffered the consequences. There's a difference. And if you can't see that difference, if you can't see the difference between someone sitting there and having an opinion, having a public open debate with people on the issues and getting shot, and then comparing that to Jimmy Kimmel or all these other people that are sitting there orgasming that Charlie Kirk was shot, losing their job. If you're comparing the two, I don't want to know you. I don't want to know you, and get off my page. And please kindly lose my number if you have it. Because we just aren't the same. I could sit here and I can disagree with you. I can be friends with Republicans, Democrats, liberals, conservatives. I can be friends with anybody. And anyone that knows me knows that. However, when you sit here and you celebrate a man's death, and then when people sit here and make jokes about it, and laugh about it and get fired or lose their jobs, oh, we're not supposed to say anything. How dare we say that? It's two different things. And I really hope that when the time comes, and it will, that I have a child. I can't wait to raise them and make sure I raise them well enough where they never, ever celebrate the death of anyone. That's how I'm going to raise my kids. People go, oh, do we want to bring kids in the world? Do you want to have kids, Chris? Yeah, I do. And I've never wavered. Because we need better parenting and we need better people in this world. And I'll make damn sure when that day comes, I will raise my child the right way, where he or she is not sitting there, where they have enough in their heart, where they're celebrating when someone else loses their life. I'm not going to let that happen. And if you're an upcoming parent, neither should you. We're out.